You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
It wouldn't be the off season without some kind of drama, and this drama doesn't even involve a Miami Dolphins player, but it does involve a player who, at the very least, Miami Dolphin fans want to join, and his dad is, as the young kids would say, doing the most. So to delve into all of that and more, as always, I am joined by Mr. Charlie Touche. Charlie, tell everyone what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. I missed a lot, Kadeem. There was a trade. There was unretirement. There was a ton of stuff, bro. We're going to cover all of it on this episode.
You know what? Yeah, it didn't even dawn on me that the last time viewers and listeners saw me was the day of the Johnny Smith, Jalen Ramsey, and Minka Fitzpatrick trade. But even after that, we had the unretirement of tight end Darren Waller. And yeah, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with what you missed, or not what you missed, but what Go Time Dolphins missed, which is your opinion on what happened last week? Or do you want to go with what Asante Samuel Sr said about the Miami Dolphins?
I guess we could do a recap and keep people around for the title later. So I'm at work at the time, and my phone is blowing up. And we have a group chat, Kadeem, myself and you and several other people and Dolphin fans. And I'm sure you have multiple group chats of Dolphin fans. I have multiple group chats of Dolphin fans. And on WhatsApp, if you have WhatsApp, you know that when you miss some chats, it'll give you an arrow and it'll tell you how many you missed. Like 30 messages, and you click down and it goes all the way down. I'm like, dang, what's going on in the chat? You feel me? And sometimes in other chats, I might miss like 100 of them. Like, dang, that's crazy. Someone's going back and forth, whatever. And then I don't like to skip to the bottom. I kind of like to read through. Like, let me catch up where I left off. It's like you binge watching an episode, a TV show. Let me start off from the messages that I missed. And I'm scrolling down the messages, and I'm catching up, and then it says we traded Jalen Ramsey. I'm like, all right, cool. We traded Jalen Ramsey. Let's see what we got. Let's see if Chris Grier will give me a reason to put the conductor hat back on. Although I haven't taken it off yet, but I'm really close. I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem. I was really close. I'm like, yo, the train is slowing down. We're about to make a stop. So it says we traded Jalen Ramsey. And I'm like, all right, let's see what we got. If he really wanted to be nice, he will pull out a 4 out of this. If he pulls out a 4, I'll be happy. If he pulls out a 3, I'm going to be like, hey, my dog did that. If he pulls out a 2027 3, I'm still excited about that, right? But I'm thinking I'm about to see a 5th or 4th or 2 6s or nothing nice. It says we traded Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers. And then it says player for player. And then it says something like another player, something like that, right? It's like a player picking another player. Like just a throw-in is the way it made it look. And then I said, all right, let's see what we got back. And it says Minka Fitzpatrick, Kadeem. And I'm like, my facial expression was literally, it was a Devon Achane. It was the Devon Achane, but without being audible. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, we got Minka back. And then I'm like, see, that's how you do that, bro. And so instead of taking a 5th round compensation or 2 6 rounds or 2 6s and a 5 or whatever you want to do to get creative, you brought back something of value, genuinely real, authentic value. So now you got rid of what they call a dog in Jalen Ramsey, and you brought back a dog in Minkah Fitzpatrick. Everyone says, oh, his better years are behind him. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? And he's a locker room piece. So you don't lose that. So I'm like, dang, this is pretty solid right here. Chris Grier did that. Let's see who this other player is that we threw in, because they said it was like a throw in. I'm thinking it's going to be, not going to throw no names out there because they still on team, but you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's going to be whatever. It says Jonnu Smith. I'm like, but I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? And then we got back a pick. And I'm like, nah, bro. I believe we won this trade. All right. And I know I missed the episode. Kadeem held down the fort. And this is your first time getting my response for it. But I do believe we won that trade, Kadeem. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, we robbed them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if this is a UFC fight, you got to judge the rounds. And I think we barely won the trade. Not saying we lost the trade, not saying it was even. I think we barely won the trade. I think Minkah has more years on him left. I think Jalen Ramsey's years are actually, his better years are behind him. And I also think Jonnu Smith, and we're going to get to the comments, but Jonnu Smith, we were trying to trade Jonnu Smith. So let me complete the whole thing before we go into Jonnu Smith and some of these other comments that some players made. The next day, it seems like the next day, maybe it was 2 days later, but shortly after, Darren Waller unretires. And
so before you get there very quickly, just want to read out one comment from the Finspin, the Mad Greek. He says, greetings, guys. Long-time watcher, recent subscriber. Keep doing what you do. And the reason I wanted to interject there very quickly, because if you're still here, thank you. This is like the comments I love to see. Long-time watcher, recent subscriber. Thanks for the comment. We appreciate you.
Hey, no, that's the comment right there. Those are the comments of why we record. You know what I'm saying? You guys have no idea what goes on behind the scenes, what almost happens, what's about to happen, the almost end of Go Time Dolphins type stuff. You have no idea. And then we get a comment like, yo, long time listener, recent subscriber, like, you know what? It's time for me to subscribe to these boys. And I know that feeling because I'm one of those people on YouTube that goes to my favorite whatever, and then realize, yo, I ain't even subscribed yet. Let me do that. So I appreciate you, Finspin, for real.
Cool.
So that being said, Darren Waller unretires. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna be real. How much does Darren Waller have left? Darren Waller was on a podcast, I don't want to say recently, but maybe it wasn't recent, but maybe it's sometime in the last year. And he says, oh, I retired because the Giants were using me as a fullback. I like, no, I'm out. Get me out of here. No pineapples. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So he retires. And then there's a podcast with him and John Gruden. And Darren Waller says, the only person I'm coming back out of retirement for. This is Darren Waller to John Gruden. He says, the only person I'll come out of retirement for is for you, John Gruden. Or if Frank Smith wants me, I'll come out of retirement again for Frank Smith. You and Frank Smith, that's it. For those who don't know, Frank Smith is the offensive coordinator for your Miami Dolphins. Darren Waller's best years were with the Raiders with Frank Smith as the offensive coordinator, or the tight ends coach at the time. Excuse me. Obviously, John Gruden called the plays, and let's be candid, Frank Smith don't call no plays here. So for anyone who's thinking, oh, Darren Waller might return to form, Frank Smith doesn't call the plays. One, McDaniel calls the plays, and then the passing coordinator is Bobby Slowick. Or is he the quarterback coach? I think he's the quarterback coach, Bobby Slowick. But what you got, Kadeem? Because you over here.
Darryl Bevel name thing to mind.
I thought we lost Darryl Bevel.
Yeah, we might have. Fact check. Darryl Bevel is party game coordinator for the Dolphins.
All right. So Bobby Slow is in the picture somewhere. He's in the line of the lineage of next play caller up. So I'm just trying to remove the fact of Frank Smith getting the ball or distance the fact that Frank Smith is going to get the ball to Darren Waller. All right. But nonetheless, we bring Darren Waller out of retirement. And what's funny about this, Kadeem, is Darren Waller's agent is Drew Rosenhaus. Jonnu Smith his agent is Drew Rosenhaus. Rumor was the Dolphins were trying to trade Jonnu Smith during the draft. Bro, I know we trying to, bro. I could go a lot of places here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, we're trying to trade Jonnu Smith during the draft. During the draft, what's the tight end that I said is he's the next generation of
Tyler Warren,
Sam Laporta, Brock Bowers. It's going to be Tyler Warren. He's next up. Colston Loveland, he's dope. I like Colston Loveland more than Tyler Warren, but I'll take Tyler Warren on my team. It's to each his own. You feel me? The Dolphins don't take Tyler Warren while trying to trade Jonnu Smith. So this tells me that the Dolphins kind of were already trying to move on from Jonnu Smith, and they knew it and still didn't take Tyler Warren. So that was an odd one for me. It was a tough pill to swallow to see us take Kenneth Grant. Maybe one day Kenneth Grant could come on Go Time Dolphins and be like, hey, I heard what y'all boys were saying about me. You was not excited about me, and look at me now. And I'll be like, very good, Junior Grasshopper. You did that. But until then, that's not the case. So I think, Kadeem, true story, I think Drew Rosenhaus planted the seed in Jonnu Smith and said, bro, we could get you some more money. Look what you did last year. We can get you some more money. And then Jonnu Smith said, yeah, I think I can get some more money too. But don't get me traded. You know who else said that, Kadeem? Another one of Drew Rosenhaus's players. Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Hey, I want more money, but don't get me traded. Sorry, Jonnu Smith, you're not Tyreek Hill. You don't get to act like that. So the Dolphins say, all right, you want more money? We'll find you a home. They trade him. Trade Jonnu Smith. He's out of here. And then shortly thereafter, Darren Waller is a Miami Dolphin, and there's a part of me that kind of thinks Drew Rosenhaus did this all on his own. Like, oh, yeah. My dog Waller's coming back in out of retirement. I get more money for that. I'm not making money off of Waller not playing. Bro, I think this was all orchestrated by Drew Rosenhaus, and I think the Dolphins are like, oh, you know what? This is a good idea. Now, I'll be real with you. What did we really expect, Kadeem, before the beginning of the season last year with Jonnu Smith? Did we think Jonnu Smith was going to have a season like that last year?
I think that's something which, 5 Yard Lee said to me, and countless others have said on social media since, which is no one was excited for Jonnu Smith from Miami. No one. This wasn't one of those things where everyone was like, yo, he's about to go off. And even it might have been before the first Patriots game where it was like, yo, Jonnu Smith has done nothing so far. Now, granted, there were some games without Tua, but it was like, we whiffed on this Jonnu Smith signing because he has contributed nothing. And then he goes off. So people are saying we had no expectations for Jonnu Smith, who had a career year in Miami. Darren Waller, at least we've seen what he can do. And to be fair, if there's one thing which Tua can do and has done, is elevate those around him. So if he can get something out of Jonnu Smith, there's no reason why he can't get something out of Darren Waller, even if it's just red zone targets or a third down target or whatever.
Kadeem, me and you were at the game. The first game of the season. We were there. And Jonnu Smith caught a pass. I'm like, who is Smith? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who is Smith on offense? I did not even know who he was, bro. I forgot that we had Jonnu Smith. I'm like, oh, yeah. Jonnu Smith is on the team. Maybe he didn't even catch it. Maybe it was a target to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, yeah, Jonnu Smith is on the Dolphins. I say all that to say this. what you expected Jonnu Smith to do last year before the season started, before he had that great season, that's what you should expect out of Darren Waller this year. You should expect Darren Waller to come in and have 40 receptions, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, you should not expect Darren Waller to do what Jonnu Smith did last year. Now, if he does do it, great. But those should not be your expectations.
Very, very quickly, sorry. So I'm looking at, week 1, Jonnu Smith, one reception, 2 targets, 7 yards. Week 2, Buffalo, 6 receptions, 7 targets, 53 yards. Still no touchdowns. Week 3, Seattle, 2 receptions, 3 targets, 18 yards. Week 4, no receptions, 1 target. And then, the New England game, I guess. 5 receptions, 8 targets, 62 yards. And then this year, 7 targets, 6, 4, 8, 11. And the numbers keep on going up. 96, 101. So it took him until week, 5, 2, 4. Yeah, after week 5 is when he really got going. But it's those first 4 weeks, people were like, yo, Jonnu Smith's a bust. He ain't done nothing. And what's the point?
Bro, so that's the completion of the trade. All in all, I do think we won. I think we got better, actually. I sat here on this podcast, Kadeem, and I said, the last time I was on a podcast, I said, if there's a way Tyreek Hill could convince Jalen Ramsey to stay, because he said he was going to go get Jalen Ramsey to stay. If there's a way to convince Jalen Ramsey to stay, I would hope Jalen Ramsey moves to safety. That is what I said before we left the podcast. I would hope he moves to safety, right? But not only does he not move to safety, he goes to another team and we bring back a safety that's better than Jalen Ramsey. So that's a win for me. That's a win. All in all, that's a win. Like, yo, we got our safety. Now we could go get one corner and then just suffer the L of whatever is hopefully one of these boys perform on the other corner. Not ideal, but that's where we are right now. What you got?
Yeah, a few comments. Cat for Life says Jonnu broke Dolphins records and now we got baggage at tight end. What happened to changing the culture? Rob Ashton said, what's up, people? Great to see you. Finn Spin says, but with the way Smith and McDaniel seem to connect on a Vulcan mind meld level, that's why it keeps them so close to that play calling duties. He'll pass on how to get the most out of Waller. And then there's a comment here about our next topic, but until we get to that, I think it's probably best we take a time out.
Still listening? Then you're one of us. Got a day one Dolphins fan you know who hasn't found Go Time Dolphins yet? Put them on. As you're rocking with the show, don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and drop a comment on your favourite podcast app, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music or Google Podcasts. It helps more Fins fans find the pod and keeps the community growing strong.
Kadeem, before we get into the next topic, let's put a button on this last one. So the trade happens. You know, there hasn't been I don't think there's been an offseason, Kadeem, where the Dolphins haven't had offseason, did not headline the offseason. Like we always got something in the offseason for everyone to look at. Always, whether it's good or bad. Use Tua, Flores, Gates got fired, Tua concussions, tampering, cocaine Cowboys, cocaine coaches. Always something in the offseason for the Watson. Always something in the Dolphins offseason. It's not an offseason of football if the Dolphins do not have a headline in it. And then we got this trade, and then we won for like 2 weeks of the headlines for like a week. Jonnu Smith comes out. No, before Jonnu Smith comes out, almost friend of the podcast, Raheem Mostert comes out. Do you remember what Raheem Mostert said, Kadeem?
Basically, this is how, or if I remember correctly, this is how the Dolphins treat Pro Bowl talent. Like, not surprising, but best of luck to Jonnu Smith.
Basically, he's paraphrasing. He said, if you're a Pro Bowler in Miami, you get treated like crap. All the best to my boys. All the best to my guys. That's what he said. Kadeem, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That I don't want to say it hurt, but it kind of did a little something to me, bro. I didn't appreciate it. And Raheem Mostert is my dog, bro. I like Raheem Mostert. Just not long ago, I said, yo, Raheem Mostert could stay on the team as long as he wants. Do you remember that episode, Kadeem? He can stay on the team as long as he wants. Like, yo, 18 touchdowns in an old man in the old car in the garage. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. And then something happened, Kadeem. He fumbled twice. 2 pretty crucial fumbles. And I don't like doing personal shots. And you know what I'm saying? It's a podcast. We're talking about football and stuff like that. But then a family member of Raheem Mostert came out in public and said he was basically treated like crap by the Miami Dolphins. And then that person in the same tweet was basically like, okay, yeah, we seen the 2 fumbles, but still, you can still treat them like better than what you treated them. That's basically what they said. Kadeem, I'll be real with you. This is not Optimist football. Raheem Mostert got a contract extension that year when he got re-signed when he fumbled prior to his fumbles. Like, bro, this is a business. This is a results-based business. Am I tripping?
No, not at all. And
he got more than $1 million, right?
Yeah, I think the whole thing was it was alleged by this person that Mike McDaniel didn't tell Raheem Mostert why he was dropped. And my thing was like, well, Mike McDaniel didn't tell me why he was dropped, but I knew why he was dropped because he fumbled the ball and Devon Achan was the better runner at the time. So I can understand. It's like, hey, you know, I would be, if I was messing up on the show, making mistakes, all that kind of stuff, and then one day, you know, I come and it's share by Steve, and then the bottom says share by Steve, and you know, I'm not here no more. I'll be like, yo, you could have told me, but also I'll be like, yeah, I messed up. I lost my place. Listen, Raheem Mostert was what? And then did he go undrafted into the league?
Raheem Mostert was undrafted and he came to the Miami Dolphins first, and then he went to 49ers. He went a lot of places.
He went to Cleveland, yeah. I'm a 6th round pick over here on Go Time Dolphins. My position ain't safe. At any moment, the next 1st round or 2nd round or Touche's 24 podcasters could be here. I've got to make sure I'm always on the ball. I'm not fumbling. So listen, all jokes aside, I can understand why he feels aggrieved, but yo, you know why you lost your position.
And also, you say he got dropped, and I want to be very clear. He got demoted. He didn't get cut.
Yeah.
So that I want to clear that up because some teams they're like, yo, we can't trust you with the ball. You're out of here. We didn't even cut you, bro. Like, we didn't cut you. And there's a hope. There is still a hope I could get him on the podcast. And we could talk about this. And we're probably not going to do it now because, you know, he's a Raider now. Probably doesn't want that, you know, said they'll probably cut him for that. Oh, why are you going on the Dolphins podcast? But I would love to have Raheem Mostert on the podcast and talk about it. Like, not just about this because I rock with Dog still. But I'm like, bro, you didn't get cut. We still kept you on the team, still paid you, and you got demoted for the better running back who did not fumble in crucial positions. Bro, those fumbles, one fumble, I think both fumbles came when we were up in both games, right? I think one was against the Colts, and we were up, and he fumbled, and we didn't even get the lead ever again. And then I think another one was against, I want to say it was Buffalo.
I think it's Buffalo, the 30-27, where we lose to that 61-yard.
Bro, not only was it against Buffalo, we were winning at the time when he fumbled. And I think he fumbled in like, gave him a short field. It might have been inside our own. We were like inside our own 40, or inside our own 30 when he fumbled.
Let's have a look. So the Dolphins were winning. Second quarter, Dolphins advanced into Buffalo territory. Mostert fumbled, and then
what game is this? Bills or Colts?
So Bills. Sorry, this is Bills. Now, to be fair, and I say to be fair, Bills then went 11 plays, 64 yards, and scored a 1-yard touchdown to Matt Collins. However, you're going into Buffalo territory with a 12-3 lead.
Well,
And
hold on. Stop. Dolphins are up 12-3.
12-3, yeah.
And we're going in the Buffalo
No,
territory.
sorry. A 10-5. My math is bad. So Buffalo leads 12-10 at this point. So Dolphins have 10, and Buffalo must have had, 6?
Hold on, you all right, Kadeem? What does it say that you're reading? Whatever you're reading, what does it say?
It says the Bills have gained a 12-10 lead over the Dolphins in the second quarter. But
because of the fumble.
Yes, and that's it. Tyler Bass missed an extra point, which is why it was 12-10 and not 13-10.
All right. Long story short, everyone remembers the fumbles.
Also, don't demote me and bring someone else for that fumble. I'm just saying.
Hey, long story short, we lose off of a 61-yard field goal. Can you imagine if he doesn't, like, the whole trajectory of the season changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't beat Buffalo. We beat Buffalo once in the Tua era, I think. Yeah?
Yep.
Beat Buffalo once against the Tua era. Like, yo, this is the game you want to win. Anyway, he comes out and say that, bro. And I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I felt a little jab, a little like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? That hurt a little bit. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. I want to be clear. It didn't hurt. Raheem Mostert comes out and says that, and I'm like, yo, I didn't like that, bro. That was a cheap shot. You know what I'm saying? You ever see some cheap shots on some of these, like, reels or Twitter or YouTube things, shorts, where someone gets cheap shot at? I'm like, yo, that was a cheap shot, bro. Like, we could have cut you. We didn't cut you. You know what I'm saying? You got demoted because you weren't playing well. But this is the one that hurt, Kadeem. Jonnu Smith gets traded and says, well, we got the exact quote here. After the season ended, me and my agent were like, this is a no-brainer. We're going to be here forever. That's what he says. Continues to say, even life after football, I didn't foresee this happening with how the season ended for me. I had aspirations of ending my career in Miami with it basically being home for me because he played football in South Florida. I can't sit here and lie and say it didn't sting. This one hurt, Kadeem, because I don't curse. And I said when I read, I like, bro, you full of, you know what, bro? Yeah. I like Jonnu Smith, bro. You the one who wanted it. You wanted the. No one said, bro. You the one who held out. You're the one who wanted more money. Like, what you make it sound like we said, hey, thank you for performing well. You're out of here. You are like, that's what we did. And the common denominator for both of them, Kadeem, the Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniel did not have to, like, focus on them two at the time. Like, we could have switched it up. We didn't have to give Mostert the touchdown record. We didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to make Jonnu Smith the highest he broke the tight end record for the Dolphins. We didn't have to do it. We could have switched it up, but we chose to do it. You feel me? So it's like, yo, y'all success came because of the Dolphins. The Dolphins' success didn't come because of you. That's crazy to me, bro. And I was hurt by that one, bro. Like, both of them boys, without shoes on, can kick rocks.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to Jonnu Smith. And again, I get it. You want to be paid for, you want to be paid what you're worth. The one thing I was saying is that Jonnu Smith was probably unfortunate that he asked for a pay rise after Xavier Howard and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey. And yes, Tyreek's still here, but X is gone. Jalen's now gone. So, yeah, he can feel aggrieved that the Dolphins didn't give him what he feels he deserved. But when you signed that contract, no offense, you weren't quite that guy. You became that guy in Miami, and the first opportunity, pay me. Why not see if you can double it again? Because, again, like Raheem Mostert, contract is up. It's like, hey, we're all good, then you can stay. And again, I have no issue with you saying I want a pay rise. But when from time the Dolphins said we ain't gonna do it, you could be like, okay, cool, fair enough. I'm all good.
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. I'm not tripping on people asking for more money. I'm not tripping on the Dolphins saying, "Oh, we're gonna trade you." I'm not. It's a business. If you say you want to go somewhere, cool. We'll send you somewhere. Don't get mad if we send you to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? If you say we pay you a contract and you underperform and then we cut you, don't get mad. It's a business, bro. Like, and both of these boys came out firing away, which is a perfect segue to what this episode is about, Kadeem.
Absolutely. Also, sorry. Quick question. So quick comment. Sorry. Finspin says, I recently started a channel at the slowest time of the season. LOL. Tough sledding. Respect to you guys who have made it out the lower rungs. You two cap for life. Yo, Finn, I can speak for myself. I'll go follow you, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Leave a comment. Let's chop it up. You know, always happy to. Again, I speak for myself because I love talking and I don't shut up sometimes. So
yeah, bro. Hey, drop the there it is. There's the comment right there.
Yeah. Oh God, sorry. Yeah, at Finspin the Mad Greek.
Everybody go hit up Finspin after this episode. Don't leave us. Go hit up Finspin, Adam, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the same. Hit us up, bro. If you or I said bro, maybe not a bro. But hit us up if you want us on chop it up with us. You feel me? But Kadeem, everybody taking shots at the Dolphins right now.
Yo, what is the 50 Cent gift was like, yo, what did I do? Because I feel like that's the Dolphins. Dolphins are here, feeling good, wallowing, minking, and all that kind of stuff. And Asante Samuel Sr. And I get it, you know. Although, do I get it? Because Asante Samuel Jr. isn't a Miami Dolphin. And while, you know, fans want him, I can't imagine. I don't know how much the Dolphins want him. Regardless, Asante Samuel Sr. on his podcast took a let's say the S word, took a shot at the Dolphins. Let's get this right. He said the Dolphins are sensitive. There's no leaders in the organization. Mike McDaniel is a pushover. Chris Grier, the GM, has no backbone. They're running this team like a little league team. There's a comment earlier from Cap for Life said, wow, Asante Samuel Sr. called it, bro. The Dolphins front office gets exactly what it deserves from a public relations standpoint. Unbelievable. This probably means the Dolphins won't overpay. Wow. So yeah, what do you make of that?
I ain't like it. He's a Patriot at heart. He's really a New England Patriot, Kadeem. That's why he don't rock with us. And then he's just taking all kind of shots off the top rope. Like, yo, bro, and he's from South Florida. Like, he's from South Florida, but he went to BA. If you're from South Florida, y'all know Boyd Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Dog went to Boyd Anderson, bro. Like, dang, bro, did we really deserve that shot, bro? He's really about that life too. So just in case y'all boys think y'all can rap online, don't do it. I advise you not to do it. He about that life. But nah, bro, he said something erroneous too, Kadeem, in there. He's like, oh, y'all didn't have to trade Jalen Ramsey. You just did it because, and then he said, I'm like, bro, that's not even accurate. Like, he demanded a trade. He wants out. We didn't want to trade him. We wanted to keep him here. So he had to go. Like, so what do you mean? You see what I'm saying? So, and then Omar Kelly came out and said, and this is according to Omar Kelly, this is not according to Go Time Dolphins, that Asante Samuel Sr. and Asante Samuel Jr. relationship isn't that close. Not reporting it, it's alleged. So I don't know if this prevents Asante Samuel Jr. from coming here, but it does taint it a lot.
It's obviously.
I never seen you come out the glasses and be like, all right, let me say that. Let me take the glasses.
No, it is.
What was that, bro?
I think it's the hat. So like the glasses, like my ears hurt here. So I think the hat and then the
headphones.
It's all hurting. So
I thought you was about to come out and snap. I'm like, oh, my dog came out the glasses. What's about to happen?
Nah, not at all. Apologies. But yeah, I think if the Dolphins have interest in Asante Samuel Jr., what Asante Samuel Sr. won't hold much weight because if Asante Samuel Jr. really wants to be a Miami Dolphin, unless his dad is his agent, yes, you know, he might go to his dad and be like, yo, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? You played in the league. But if the Dolphins are saying to you, hey, come in, be a starter, don't have like the best talent around you, but still in a pretty, hopefully good defense, then yeah, this is just noise. It's not the best kind of noise, but he's entitled to his opinion, and as I'm pretty sure it's the opinion that's quite probably held quite a lot by or shared by a lot of the Dolphins fan base. Essentially, has he lied about the perception of the Dolphins front office?
Did he lie about it?
Yeah.
You're asking the question?
Yeah, because again, the Dolphins fans who genuinely believe that the Dolphins front office are a pushover, that they're spineless, that Mike McDaniel, isn't a leader of men. So if essentially if fans are saying it,
but look, I won't say it. I won't say that they are, because I can't get there. You know what I'm saying? But I can say some of their actions I question a lot. Paying everybody when they hold you hostage. Like, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that does mean they're a pushover. Oh, let's pay X again. He asked for a raise twice in 2 years. Oh, let's pay Tyreek Hill. He asked for a raise. Oh, let's pay Jalen Ramsey. Let's pay all these people because they keep asking just because they asked for it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't love it. But I don't know. I mean, spineless. That's a tough one. Maybe what he said about what he say about Coach. He said he doesn't stand up to players.
He's a pushover.
He's a pushover. I could go for that. I'd go for pushover, but spineless. I don't know, bro. I don't know about spineless. I will say, I think even Chris Grier knows he's too passive. I think he knows that because he came out and said, "I deflect too much." You know what I'm saying? Like, so, go ahead, Flores. Go ahead and draft Igbenogany. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mike McDaniel. We'll let you trade a third round from next year to go get the running back that you really want in Jalen Wright, which suddenly may not have been the best trade at now if you look in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, maybe it's cool, but I don't know. So even Chris Grier said he deflects too much. So I think he comes off a bit passive as a GM with some of those moves. I don't know him as a best friend or nothing like that.
It's one of those things where, listen, he's entitled to his opinion. He has no love lost for the Dolphins, given he was a Patriot player, won Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff. But also the flip side is the Dolphins are one of the few teams who have a genuine need at corner, and your son needs a job. So you bad-mouthing his potential employee or future employee, is that the best thing for a dad to do? And again, maybe the relationship isn't the best, and maybe ultimately he doesn't care. But if anything, do the Dolphins really want a
disgruntled parent?
Yeah. They had it with Miko Grimes, and even though she wasn't the parent, it's the last thing you want is someone on the outside in the media talking. It's one of the alleged reasons that Shador Sanders fell, because no one wants your dad in the media big talking 24/7. It's like, yo, how about you be quiet and let us do our job?
Bro, I don't think this prevents us from signing Asante Samuel Jr., but I do think it prevents us from signing Asante Samuel Jr. to the type of contract that we wanted it to. I think this says, oh, whoa. Maybe this needs to be a 1 or 2 year deal just in case something hits the fan, and let's protect ourselves, give us a couple outs here, as opposed to, let's see if we can get 2-3 years out of him, or 3-4 years out of him. I think this is more so, all right, now he's just going to be a stopgap type of Band-Aid fit. But something else I wanted to bring up about Raheem Mostert, going back a little bit, Kadeem. He hit us up on Instagram. Shout out to Raheem Mostert some time ago. Hit us up on Instagram. Like, that's why we said we rock with him. You know what I'm saying? So, but still, I'm still trying to get you on so we could talk about this. You feel me? But when the timing is right.
Yeah, it's again, you mentioned this earlier, one of the many what if moments. There's countless players who could have been on this show and haven't been for various reasons, and it's
we have lost our ability to get into our Instagram, and we had Craycraft 400 lined up in the crosshairs to come on to be a friend of the podcast, and we don't even know if he ever responded. This is how long ago it was. Kadeem, we got something though. Shout out to the average white guy. Hit me up in a text and said, if you know this answer, well, I guess you can answer it in the comments, but Kadeem, don't look in the comments. All right. Who has the most passing attempts in a game by Miami Dolphin? Which quarterback has the most passing attempts in a game as a Miami Dolphin? Do you know who it is? We're going to go on the other side and get into overtime. We're going to deliberate, think about the question, think about the answer, and I'll come up with what I got, and let me know who you got. Let us know who y'all got in the comments too, but y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Enjoying the episode so far? Whether you're watching in the comfort of your own home or on the go, Go Time Dolphins is where you want to be for your fix on all things Dolphins. So hit that like button, drop a comment below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to help us keep growing and reaching more Fins fans around the world.
Which Miami Dolphin quarterback has the most passing attempts in a game? I'll be honest with you, Kadeem. Let's go with your answer first.
Oh, I genuinely have no idea, and that not even being difficult. I just have no idea. Like more so because it's my, I guess, lack of Dolphins knowledge before 2015. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My go-to would be Dan Marino. Either, that's just an easy one. Dan Marino had the arm, threw it around, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll play boring and go Dan Marino.
So when I first got the question, I thought there was a game too. It had like 48 attempts, and I think that was Flores. We threw the ball 48 times in the rain in the Titans.
Like 51 Titans, yeah.
So I'm like, I don't remember it being a record, right? And it was in the rain, like with a team that you don't even want to throw 50 times with. So I don't want to say it's Tua. And then he asked me it, and he's a San Francisco 49er fan. So since he asked me, I'm like, there's got to be a twist to this. I don't think it's Tua. I don't think it could be Chad Henne. It could be Chad Henne. And I'm like, I don't remember. Maybe Chad Henne. It's a good name to come up with on this topic. But I feel like there was a game where Ryan Tannehill went like 19 for 21 and almost broke a record for like a perfect game or something like that. I hit the mic. Like some type of perfect game. Ryan Tannehill did that. So I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, there's some things there for certain people, and I don't think it was Chad Pennington. So I got the Jay Fiedler. I actually got an autographed football signed by Jay Fiedler. Where is it? I got an autographed football Jay Fiedler somewhere. Oh, it's at the crib. And then the further back I kept going, I'm like, I think the smartest answer is just Dan Marino, bro. Like I remember Mike McDaniel saying, yo, Dan Marino throwing for 5,000 yards when he did it was the equivalent to someone throwing for like 6,000 yards nowadays. So I gotta imagine if you're the first person to throw for 5,000 yards and no one did it after that for like 15 years or something like that, I'm gonna go with Dan Marino, and I'm gonna say it was over 60 attempts. It was like 62 to 65 attempts. Do we have the answer?
I will double check in a sec. The only thing I was thinking as you're talking to how many attempts would you have had in that Buffalo comeback win? Because the Dolphins were down big, and again, if it was like six,
the Ravens comeback win, or
so Ravens, sorry, yeah,
because we did win against Buffalo, but I don't know that it was a comeback win.
No, definitely, yeah. I don't think of Ravens because he had what 6 touchdowns, or yeah, potentially. So that's why it could be that. So in the comments, we have
Tua had 500 yards. I think he had like 6 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 492 yards passing, something like that.
Music by FA said Dan the Man. Jason Keck said with 60. Miami Dolphins.
All right, we got it. I got the answer.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I just want to see that Dolphins. Oh, well, that's not the game I want. 42-38. Okay, yeah, Tua had 50 attempts in that game, 469 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
I got the answer. You ready? Or we gonna let it sit for a little bit?
You have no more comments. Again, if you listen on Twitter, let us know as well. Also, the Great Fins fan said, if I were Kadeem, I never would have said 2015. Some fan you are. And yeah, I'm a newbie, but I also feel the pain like you all do as well.
Hey, you don't have to be a lifelong Dolphin fan to be a diehard Dolphin fan. Listen, so we got the answer. And it's crazy how on track I was on track for it, because I know we had to keep going back. And I said 62, but it was not Marino with 62. It was Joey Harrington with 62. And it was in 2006.
I would never, ever, ever have got that. Joey Harrington. What was I doing in 2006? I was 16. Remember going to Jamaica that year, leaving high school to go to sixth form. What was the Super Bowl that year?
2006?
Yeah.
Was that a Ravens or a Giants Super Bowl?
No, but the Super Bowl was played in Miami.
Oh, it was the Saints.
Nope.
The Colts.
Colts
Bears.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. That's the Purple Rain game.
Yeah.
That's a Prince performed at halftime.
Crazy. Yeah. Colts win 29-17. The 12-4 Colts against the 13-3 Bears. What those teams would do to get back to sniff those numbers again. Insane.
So, this is great trivia. Devin Hester open, and we're all tying this to Miami, and we'll get there how we get there. Devin Hester returns the opening kickoff to the Super Bowl. First time ever happened. Returns the opening kickoff to the Super Bowl for a touchdown. University of Miami, Devin Hester does it, right? Opening kickoff. Do you know who took the opening kickoff to the national championship a month before? So the college football championship game, it happened in that game, and it was the opening kickoff. Someone took it, returned it to the house. And then Devin Hester did it a month later in the Super Bowl. Do you know who the player was in the college football championship?
I'm gonna guess Reggie Bush.
Ted Ginn Jr., former Miami Dolphin. Crazy how everything ties up. But Prince performed Purple Rain, at I want to say Joe Robbie Stadium because that's what I call it. And it was raining, and this is one of the most epic halftime performances ever. They were about to cancel the halftime performance because it was raining too hard. And they go backstage to the locker room and say, "Hey, Prince, it's raining pretty bad. There's a lot of voltage and electricity underneath the stage. We don't want you to perform. Here's what we got for you." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, he heard his options, and he told the guy, whoever this person is, he's like, "Listen, I only got one question for you." And then he was like, "What's the question?" Prince said, "Can you make it rain harder?" And then goes out and has one of the best halftime performances ever. And if you, after this episode, go subscribe to FinSpin and then turn on the Prince halftime performance and watch him perform Purple Rain in a downpour at Joe Robbie Stadium. Epic. Epic.
One final question for you then.
Mm-hmm.
It was not called Joe Robbie Stadium during this game. What was it called?
If it wasn't Joe Robbie Stadium, I think Pro Player Stadium came right after Joe Robbie Stadium. And I don't think Pro Player Stadium was the name of it because I think that was earlier on. So then there was Sun Life Stadium. Then there was like Dolphins Stadium. I'm going to say Sun Life Stadium.
Let us know in the comments below. Answer on the next episode. I'm gonna keep Charlie waiting. So again, don't cheat. Don't go and Google what was the Dolphin Stadium name during the Super Bowl between the Colts and the Bears in 2006.
Kadeem, I hear you about to sign off. I have a friend that played in that game. He was actually supposed to come on the podcast about 2 years ago. I don't know if we're going to get him to come on now, but I actually do have a friend that played in that game. That's crazy. And then we played Sandlot football together. He wasn't trying to tackle us. And we're like, bro, if you're not going to tackle for real, you can't play with us. Sandlot football for real. But that's all we got.
We have a few answers so far, or potential answers. We got Sun Life again, Fruit of the Loom Stadium, great name. But yeah, let us know in the comments, and you get the answer on the next episode. But until then, we shall see you soon. Peace.